What is going on? Welcome to OG 55. Today we are talking about the secret to Blackpink's success, the biggest girl group in the world. We're going to talk about what makes them so popular and how that secret to success could be a lesson or three for the Disney park and Disney influencer community. I know this is a weird connection here, but I'm telling you folks, there is a huge connection here that I'm going to break it down. Your boy OG is going to break it down up next on OG 55. Welcome aboard, everybody, to OG 55. Today, we're talking all about Blackpink and the secret to their success. And also, I'm going to dip into how this might tie into Disney influencers. And I know you're going to want to stick around because I do have a connection, and I think it's a very important one, actually. So let's go ahead. I'm going to share a clip for you guys from a show, the Zach Sang Show. He had the honor and privilege to interview the lovely ladies of Blackpink. And I'm going to play a little clip and we're going to stop and talk about it along the way. But this is very, very important. You know, Blackpink is a huge thing right now. Now, I recently became a fan, like literally just a few weeks ago, and I've been diving into all their music and it's fantastic. The music is really, really good. The energy, the beats, the production value of their music videos is all around just top-notch entertainment, in my opinion. I'm a huge fan. And look, I was really skeptical about K-pop. I was really never super interested in it, right? And I came across, Blackpink through a friend of mine, Ethan, theme park wizard, and I'm telling you, this group in particular really did blow my mind. But let's hear this interview, a clip from this interview. This really dives into, I think, the psychology and the reasoning behind their success, or at least a big part of it. So let's go ahead and dive right in here.
The point I'm trying to make is,
Okay.
do we make friends at Coachella?
We kind of did, yeah. Jaden Smith and Diplo,
cool.
actually, they actually waited out
We were
near a caravan to
in between their
say hi.
performances,
Yeah,
so we got to say hi.
Wow.
they were
That
like
was-
really, really
They were so
kind.
sweet to us. And
They were so down to earth, like way more than we would expect them to be, and they were so like happy to see us
They
when we're all
approached us,
starstruck.
yeah.
We're like, hi.
Okay, so this is interesting, right? So like Rose, the gal in the blonde hair, is saying like we were starstruck. Okay, you're probably thinking like, okay, so what? That's not a so what. That's a big deal. These girls are massive. I'm telling you, they're massive. They are a global phenomenon. One of their music videos on YouTube, a song of theirs, "Hit You with the Doo-Doo-Doo," 2 billion views on YouTube, 23 million likes. Okay, they're a huge thing right now. They are the girl band Beatles right now, and they're opening up and being vulnerable to the host here, Zach, saying, "Look, we were starstruck. We were starstruck." When's the last time you heard a big Hollywood star say that they were starstruck, hearing, that they met someone else that was big? You ever hear Brad Pitt say he goes to the Oscars and he was starstruck because he met so-and-so? You never hear that. These girls have a level of humility, a level of humbleness that I find very, very charming. And I think this is one of the big ingredients as to why they have been so successful, is that humbleness, right? They don't really, you can really tell here, and they're genuine. You can tell they're not faking it. They're coming off very genuine. They don't really, it's almost like they don't realize how big they are and how big of an impact they have in this whole entertainment space. And they're almost coming at this whole situation like fans themselves. And they're going through this whole process and like they're being starstruck. It's a big shock to them, right? That's really, really good to see. And here's the thing. I want to tell you how it ties into Disney influencers. We see a lot of Disney influencers, and I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to get into all that. I'm not trying to like drag anybody. But we see a lot of Disney influencers and vloggers and what have you in our space who look, they're big in our little bubble. They have thousands of supporters and subscribers and what have you. But at the end of the day, they're no Blackpink. Let's be honest. I mean, really, who is at the end of the day? But I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, the Disney Park people in our space, the content creators, are not huge entities. They're not household names for most people. Most people don't know who Tim Tracker is, or myself, or Dave from Fresh Baked, right? No, people don't know any of the content creators, but a lot of people do know Blackpink. Blackpink is a household name to a lot of people. Well, the thing is like, I see a lot of content creators, and not the ones that I've just mentioned. I'm not throwing shade at Dave or Tim Tracker or anything like that, but there are content creators out there that are extremely entitled and extremely to do. They think that really their shit don't stink, and there's no humbleness, there's no humility there at all. And they're really just a tiny speck in this YouTube world, in this entertainment space, right? You're a Disney Park vlogger, you're a Disney influencer, you're not really like a huge deal like these girls. These girls are massive. They're bigger than anything that any of us will ever become. And here they are admitting at Coachella they were starstruck by Diplo and Jaden Smith. I find that incredibly, incredibly cool. And honestly, it's refreshing to see. And I think that's a huge part of their success. But let's continue. Let's see what else they have to say.
It's freaking Diplo
Yeah.
and Jaden Smith. Okay, Jenny, there's so much here because you guys all have your own stories. You learned English by going to school in New Zealand, right? Why go back to Korea, and why dive into the trainee program? And really, I'm assuming, or did you always want to do this? Like, sorry.
So when I was in New Zealand, I lived by myself. Like, my family was living in Korea.
And you were so young.
I know, I was 10 when I went there.
Wow.
And so by the time I turned 14, 15, my mom wanted me to actually move me to the States, like I think in Florida. Yeah, she had plans to move me.
Beautiful Florida.
Yeah, we actually took a trip to Florida, saw the school, saw the place that I would live in.
Wow.
And it hit me like, I don't want to live by myself in Florida, not knowing what I want to do. And I started thinking what I want to do, and it was really like, I was like, out of there, I was like, I want to do music. I want to like learn how to dance and stuff like that. So I told my mom, instead of going to a new school, why don't I just come home and do something that I would enjoy for the rest of my life? And she was supportive with it, and that's how it all started.
Wow. Whoa. Your life really could have been totally different. And
Definitely.
I think it's really special that you traded in not wanting to be alone to having 3 incredible human beings around you all the time.
Sisters. Instant sisters.
Human beings that you're comfortable enough around to like open your mouth so they can feed you M&M. Like it's not
Okay, so this is another huge part of their success, right? Like the host is kind of joking, like, they feed each other M&Ms. But it's true though. I mean, if you ever know anything about Blackpink, these girls are like sisters. This is not phony baloney, whatever. This is the real deal. These girls are very close. You could tell by the body language and how they interact with each other. That really is the case. But that's a big part of being successful, I think, in really any kind of entertainment space, whether you're a part of a TV show, whether you're part of a movie, a podcast, a YouTube channel. I think the chemistry that you have with your fellow castmates, your fellow collaborators is very important to the success of the on-screen stuff, right? And these girls are they're family in real life. And I think that comes across and bleeds into their professional stuff, their music, their performances on stage, and everything they do professionally. And I think that's very, very important. Look, to be honest, it's like, I think that's one of the big reasons why I don't want to speak for my audience, but I get a lot of comments about how fans love the chemistry between like myself and Vash Sky and Disney Family Man and Jay Shear and what have you, because we just have that we have that honest friendship off camera. We're on the phone with each other all day long, and when we get on camera, it's a very genuine kind of thing. And I think that is part of the reason why I think a lot of people watch OG55 is because of that friendship, that chemistry. It works on camera because it's real. Same with these girls, right? The chemistry is real. They're family. So when they get on stage and they're messing with each other and teasing each other, and they're doing these interviews together, and they're one unit, they're a family. I'm telling you that's a huge part of this whole thing. Is like that's why I think these girls have gone a lot further than a lot of other, say, K-pop groups or even just American music groups and what have you, because of that connection with each other. It's very, very important. Look, I love my brothers here on OG55, Vash, George, Jay Shear. I love these guys. I absolutely love these guys. They're family to me. And the show would be very, very different here on the channel if we didn't have that off-screen chemistry as well, right? Enormously important. And it's one of the reasons why I actually kind of really liked the High School Musical show on Disney Plus, like season 1, because I think the kids had like a friendship off camera, and it kind of spilled into the show, right? It definitely makes an impact. Now, I want to share one more clip for you before we leave, and this kind of goes back to the humbleness, the humility of these girls, right? Not really realizing how big they are and how kind of charming that is, and how that's such a big element of this whole secret to their success. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Give me one moment. Okay, so this is Troye Sivan. Troy is a fellow castmate, I guess you would call him, for The Idol. Now, Jenny, the gal in that we just saw talking about, having to move to Florida, or she was going to have to move to Florida. She's actually on the show, The Idol. It's on HBO Max right now. And her castmate was kind of talking about Jenny, like the first time he met Jenny. Now, I'm going to play you this clip. Now, I'm telling you, this is exactly what I'm talking about with that humbleness, that humble pie, that humility that these girls have. They're massive, and yet they still behave like they're just nobody at this point. It's wild. It's wild. Here we go. Here's Troy.
Jenny, because I'm a Blink.
Yes, slay.
The two of you on the carpet looked really, really cute. Like you were soaking in the experience.
I mean, I love Jenny so much. I'll never forget the first day I met her. We were just like kind of talking casually, and she had just flown in from somewhere. I was like, "Oh, was it for work?" And she was like, "Yeah, well, I'm in a band." And I was like, "Are you serious? Like, I know you're in a band. Like the entire world knows that you're in a band." She's so humble and so sweet. And
okay, that's massive. That's massive. Okay, I'm in a band. This was recently, by the way. Like, Jenny is currently on the show. I don't even think the show has even wrapped season 1 yet. I think they're only like maybe 2 or 3 episodes in. This is recently. The first interview was like 3 or 4 years ago. This interview with Troy was just within the last few weeks. And Jenny, even as they've gained more and more and more success and more popularity as a worldwide phenomenon with Blackpink, she's still introducing herself like, yeah, I'm in a band. Like, she does like coffee shop performances to like 6 people or something. Like, you're Jenny from Blackpink. You're huge. You're huge. And even Troy was taken aback by that. Like, what do you mean you're in a band? We all know you're in a band. That humility and that humbleness is really, really awesome. And I just wish there was more of that in our community as a Disney influencer community, Disney park space. I just wish there was more of that. I see a lot of entitlement, a lot of kind of cocky arrogance, and like just ugly behavior. Okay. And again, I'm not naming names, but there's a lot of ugly behavior out here in our little space. And to see these girls, and as big as they are, and how humble and how sweet they are, I don't know, man. It's really refreshing to see, and it really makes you enjoy their music even more so, knowing that they're great people. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. If you haven't checked out Blackpink, I highly suggest you do. They really do create great music. And I do want to also give a shout out to their producer and songwriter, Teddy Park, who is really like the unsung hero, I think, for Blackpink. Obviously, the girls get an enormous amount of credit, obviously. But I think Teddy Park also, because he's behind the scenes, deserves a lot of credit. I mean, this guy, when you listen to Blackpink's music and you hear the beats and the lyrics and the way it's all arranged, it's masterful. It's absolutely masterful. This guy is a genius, dude, a musical genius. And I'm telling you, he is a big part of their success as well, since we're talking about secrets of, of Blackpink's success. So yeah, big shout out to Mr. Teddy Park. You're killing it, brother, and keep up the good work. Everybody at home, though, comment down below with all your thoughts on Blackpink's secret to their success and kind of how it ties into the Disney Parks community, and how a lot of creators in our space, man, they're just kind of like, they let stuff get to their head, a lot of ego, a lot of big heads, you know, and it's just, man, it's just kind of ugly. And what do you think about that in relation to what you're seeing in stark contrast with these girls from Blackpink? I would love to hear from you. And as always, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye, everybody.